Hello there, welcome back. Today I'm going to start a new book, a new Big Little book. Popeye in Deep Sea Danger. Should prove to be quite interesting. These books were popular when we were kids. I remember them well, especially these little paperback ones. So come and join me as I start chapter 1. Popeye in Deep Sea Danger. By Paul S. Newman. Paul passed away in 1990, I think. Could be wrong, sometime in the 90s. This is a Whitman book. Western Publishing Company, Racine, Wisconsin. Here's our chapters. There are only 10 chapters in this little book. The first chapter is called An Invitation. Exclaimed Olive Oil, jumping back from the book Sweet Pea had popped in front of her.
Gosh,
Apologized Sweet Pea.
I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to know if anything like this really existed.
On one page of the book was a drawing of a scary sea monster. The creature had a very long, curving neck and a small head, but its open mouth revealed a full set of sharp, dagger-like teeth. The book said that just such a creature had been sighted by many American sailing crews along coastal waters during the period from 1700 till about 1870. No new sightings had been reported in over 100 years, but sailors of the old days swore they had seen it. The great sea monster had frightened many crews. Twice it had overturned ships, sending the helpless seamen plunging into the cold, rough seas, and several men had drowned.
Does it still attack ships?
Asked Sweet Pea, closing the book.
Better ask Popeye,
replied Olive Oil.
No, Sweet Pea, Popeye said. I've never met any sea monster. Old salts have always told of such critters, but seeing is believing, and I never believed in such things.
Sweet Pea studied the old drawing. The monster must have measured 100 feet from the tip of its long, spiked-backed tail to the end of its snout. It was comforting to know that this terrifying monster was probably only an imaginary creature. Just then, the front doorbell rang. Olive Oil answered it and saw a nice-looking stranger holding a dispatch case.
Hi.
Hi.
He was thin and tall, and his large eyeglasses gave him a scholarly look.
Hello.
Said the smiling man, offering a calling card. I am Professor Frederick Findham. I teach biology at the university. I would like to speak to Popeye. He paused. About sea monsters, cried Olive Oil. The mere mention of the words sea monsters immediately recalled the drawing of the frightening long-necked creature.
Raise sails and shove off, matey,
called Popeye, rushing to the door.
I won't have anyone bothering me honey pie.
Olive quickly explained that the professor had intended no harm. It was just the reference to the sea monsters that had upset her. Popeye ushered in the man who taught about human and animal life forms.
Blow me down,
said Popeye, pointing to Sweet Pea and his book.
He just asked about sea monsters. I told him I never seed any such a critter.
Ah, exclaimed the professor. Leaning forward in his chair.
But there is a sea monster that may actually exist today.
Sighed Olive Oil as she sank back onto a chair.
Belay that windy talk, said Popeye. You're a professor. You know better than the old sea dogs who tell us such tales.
But Professor Findham explained why he believed such an incredible myth. His careful studies of old ships, logs, and sailors' diaries had convinced him that the ancient seamen had actually sighted monsters very much like the one in Sweet Pea's book. Professor Findham specialized in marine biology, the study of life forms in water. Now he wanted to settle once and for all if such sea monsters had lived as recently as 100 years ago. He thought that Popeye was the perfect man to go with him on the trip that would determine if the sea monsters still existed.
Me?
Asked Popeye.
Shiver me timbers. Why would I be the one you want?
Because I need someone to handle a sailing ship, replied Findham. I have a theory why no sea monster has been sighted for over a century, and you can handle the sailing schooner I've rented for the expedition.
Don't go,
cried Olive.
If there is such a monster, it'd eat you alive with its sharp teeth. No sea critter on earth could harm me, Popeye scoffed.
He asked Findham why no one had spotted the monster for so long. I must keep my theory secret for now, the professor whispered. The sea creature is very important to science. It is a doubly endangered species because 2 villains tried buying my help to make money using one of the captured monsters. They've threatened my life unless I help them. Keeping my theory secret keeps me alive. Popeye and Olive Oil were shocked. This sea monster, noted Findham, could be a link to those long-vanished dinosaurs. We could learn a lot about earlier forms of life on Earth from it. Will you help me, Popeye?
Avast, Professor. You sure talk a great voyage. Sign me on.
Professor Findham heard Popeye's words with relief. He did not know that 2 plotting rivals also heard him. Inside the professor's dispatch case, they had hidden a microphone.
I'm in danger!
That's it for Chapter 1. Would you join me next time as I read Chapter 2? Cast Off. We'll see you next time.